Well, good morning, Phantom Shipmates. Today's the big day, and in honor of the occasion, I put on my cleanest dirty shirt. I got underway about 2 hours ago, and the next scheduled stop is Iceland. I'm leaving. This is the Galway Bay. Galway is down there, and the Aran Islands are up that direction a little bit further. Beautiful place here. And we're off to a good start. This transit should take 5 to 7 days in some pretty challenging but certainly not dangerous winds. I'll give you more on the weather and how I plan to manage that later. And as I say farewell to Galway Bay, special thanks to Tony and Walter and the crew of Evolution and all the people there. You were just wonderful. What a welcome. Thank you very much. Leaving the Aran Islands, I don't know if you can see the lighthouse on the end. Those are the Aran Islands, Bay of Galway, and this time I didn't completely fold up the lazy jacks. I loosened them up a great deal and then folded the lazy bag. We'll see how this one works out. I like to have the lazy jacks up so that I can reef. I'm reefed right now. And I'm doing 6.6 knots, headed 120 relative apparent, and 16 knots of apparent wind. So here's the weather forecast I left whipped. And the grid is now 38 hours old. This is the zone I'm concerned about. I'm still down here now, so I'm looking at 15 knots of wind. When I get up into here, I just called on my Garmin inReach and they confirmed it. It's going to be 25 gusting to 31 when I get to this zone. But I knew that when I left. So what am I doing? This is my course. So this is Ireland, and this is, you can barely see it, just the tip of Iceland there. I'm heading northeast even, and I want to get as far over this direction as I can so that when I do get hit by those winds of 25 knots rather than the 15 or 16 that I have now, I'll be able to turn and come in from this direction. Now it doesn't look like I've deviated course very much, but that little space there is almost 60 nautical miles, that little line there. So by the time I get up to here, I'll probably be 100 miles off of my planned blue line, and hopefully the wind will be a little less brutal. And I'm in a location right now that merits special reverence. About 45 miles abeam me is a rock sticking up out of the middle of the ocean in the middle of nowhere. It's called Rockall, and in the early 1900s a Danish passenger ship hit that and 750 people lost their lives. So a special place here, a special thought for those in peril on the sea. It can be unforgiving at times. We are well into April. These are the waters of March. Cold and gray and unwelcoming. Be gone, these waters of March, and yield your place to warmer, friendlier, kinder, gentler waters. The waters of spring and April. Be gone. Well, good morning, and this is the fourth morning in a row now that I've woken up to 23 to 25 knots of wind from abeam and 3-meter seas. I have not changed. Whoa. I have not changed the sail plan in the last several days. I haven't touched it. Just got the staysail out. There you go. Staysail out, partially furled. And with just that, I've been doing between 6 and 8 knots, 5.5 to 8 knots consistently. So it's not a hard sail, it's just very uncomfortable because I take the waves from the side here, and so I'm rolling around all the time. Yeah, I'm warming up some milk here for some hot chocolate. That's probably not a good idea. We'll give it a try. Yeah, it wasn't a good idea. Close enough. Okay, hot chocolate ready. So where are we? So this is me. I got about 150 miles left to run or so. Having left Galway in Ireland here, come up through here. Here's where that rock is, rock hall. That ship hit, the Danish passenger liner hit, the loss of all lives aboard. And then here I am, and this is where I'm going. It's an island 5 miles off the coast of Iceland. Obviously it belongs to Iceland, but so that's where I'll be going. Stop there for a day or two, and then go around the corner to Reykjavik. Whoop, over here. And then this is the area that everyone likes to explore. This northwest coast here. So that's what the plan is. So one other thing I want to do is I want to check the weather. So I have typed in a point that's 50 miles or so from my arrival point. Marine forecast. This is Bluetooth to my Garmin InReach, which is up there, out there. I'm sure you can't see it. And so let's just say get the forecast. There we go. Get the forecast. So we'll get an update on the arrival weather. It's going to be as much a surprise to me as to you. But while that's turning, I'll just explain. Here's some of the books that help in the preparation. This Arctic and Northern Waters is more high level and general background information. It's very good, very interesting. For that, I use this, the Cruising Guide to Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Greenland. So this shows all of the ports that you can go to and the places of interest around Iceland. And this is where I'm going, to this island called Westman. In English is how that be pronounced. And that's my first stop, where I'll be going. So that's the reading preparation. Obviously, I've got to look at the chart very closely as well, trying to get close. Okay, the weather has just popped up. That took about 90 seconds. So in that zone, which is 121 miles away from where I am now, right now there's 25 knots of wind and 3 meter seas, which is what I got here. Tonight, the same thing. I would expect to be arriving there tomorrow at about noonish. It's the same thing. 25 knots, 2 meter seas, calming down just a little bit. And midnight tonight, 24 knots. So the wind isn't going to change at all. So that's the weather outlook and the final briefing. And so about tomorrow, about this time, I should be arriving in Iceland. I filmed that corny scene with the hot chocolate just because I didn't want to just show boring factual stuff, and all that. So I'll show them a little bit of how life is. And something I do every morning is prepare a hot chocolate. So I prepared it, and then while I was showing you that, it went flying. Now it's all cleaned up. There's no big deal. But that was me trying to be a cinematographer, and it didn't work. I just completed a very important task at sea. Iceland. I've got about 24 hours to go. As you can see, it's an angry sea today. It's not letting up at all. The forecast was for us a slight let up, but not much. What's really suffered is my cooking. I was all excited for this passage. I was going to make a real sauce bolognese with a real mirepoix, but it was just too rough to do any cooking. All I could do was warm up stuff, like a can of beans or a can of ravioli. I couldn't do any real cooking, just too rough. Icelandic Traffic Service, Icelandic Traffic Service, Icelandic Traffic Service. This is sailing vessel Isabel, Isabel, Isabel. Good morning.
Good morning, Isabel. This is Icelandic Traffic Service.
Yes, Isabel is currently 15 miles southeast of Westman. I'm notifying you of my intended arrival in about 2.5 hours. Out.
What is your call sign?
The vessel's name is Isabel, and the radio call sign is Foxtrot Alpha Delta 8454. Foxtrot Alpha Delta 8454.
Thank you very much.
This is one heck of a arrival. I was doing 6 knots with bare poles. And for those of you who always lecture me about putting the fenders on, I want to tell you how difficult that was to put those fenders on in these conditions. But the marina is very narrow, and I don't know it, and there's 30 knots of wind, so I don't think I could put the fenders on inside the marina. Oh! Having fun. Welcome to Iceland.
Yes, welcome to Westman Island.
Welcome to Iceland. Keep my glass filled till morning light.